Yesterday, history was unfolded. There was a protest near the Capitol building, and people actually got inside.
This commotion was because these people or protesters thought that the vote was unfair, although it was perfectly fair.
There were photos released of regular people sitting in the head of the House's chair taking selfies. That's what I consider a disgrace to democracy.
These protesters forced themselves through the police and into the Capitol building without permission. That's trespassing.
And the congressmen and women, they were actually counting to see if the vote was fair. And then these people just come in. Shouldn't they at least wait to see if Congress thinks the vote is fair? Because if they denied the vote and say Joe Biden isn't the president-elect, they're just protesting and hurting people for no reason.
4 people were killed yesterday.
The protest started around 2:30, and it only took 15 minutes for the protesters to breach the Congress building.
The country is already in shambles, and we don't need anything else like this. So I'm hoping this will end soon.
Peaceful protests are fine, but this is not a peaceful protest. This is more like trespassing, and you can't just trespass onto the Capitol building and then carry guns along.
Luckily, the police came and stopped it before many congressmen and cameramen could get hurt. This is also an amazing display of how police is very helpful to this country. They put themselves in danger, even knowing that they could get hurt by the people protesting. But they put themselves on the line to keep the congressmen and congresswomen safe.
These protesters unnecessarily brought so many people, including the police and many others, like the people who work in the Congress, in danger. It was very unreasonable to do this.
Today, the news has stated that there are around a dozen people in the White House that are considering resigning from their jobs after what has happened.
Like I said, I hope this dies down because soon Shay's rebellion might restart again. Shay's rebellion was basically when there was a whole protest and they were carrying guns and lots of people died. And it's pretty close to getting to that point.
There have been many U.S. elections for president before this, and every time someone lost, someone won. There was no reason that this time there had to be a riot and there had to be violence.
Ronald Reagan said that he has been surprised of how the transfer of power has been done peacefully. But this year, the transfer of power has not been done peacefully.
The grounds of the White House were eventually cleared around 6 p.m. by the National Guard and other intelligence agencies that used tear gas.
Washington, the first president until now, there hasn't been any protest like this. Like Al Gore, he was very, very upset that he lost against George W. Bush. But he didn't take he and his people and start and protest so other people can get hurt. He just accepted the fact that he lost, and he might try again.
All the protesters should have known that life doesn't always go their way. They got their wish last year, and Trump became president, and there's always the next election.
I think re-election is crazy like many other people because Joe Biden won fair and square. There was no reason to be re-elected. And I will tell you this, Donald Trump will keep asking for re-elections until he becomes president.
What happened yesterday was horrible, and hopefully it will never happen again. They shouldn't have barged into the Capitol building, bringing guns and trying to protest to convince Congress to change their mind. What happened happened. They shouldn't have gotten so angry about it.